You're listening to EstesParkRadio.com. I'm Christy Wellborn, and this morning I am at the very busy, still busy, Beaver Meadows Visitor Center with Kyle Patterson, Public Information Officer for Rocky Mountain National Park. Good morning, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Good morning, Christy. It's great to see you as always.
You too. October.
October.
We do this every month. So if you've heard it
We've done
before,
this every month for so many
record.
years, haven't we? How can it be February?
Yeah, exactly.
How can it be July?
Exactly.
That's, at least we're consistent.
Yes, we are. You know what to expect. Anyway, October, beautiful time of year. The leaves are turning. It's so pretty everywhere.
It is.
I love this time of year.
I do too, and especially when we have mild weather, it's an incredible time to visit Rocky Mountain National Park because
what a mild September.
Yes, mild September, beautiful September, and the leaves, didn't they wait a while to turn this year?
It's wonderful.
It really has been a beautiful fall, and October's shaping up to be the same. And, I think that it's sometimes, particularly during the week, our fall is some of the best times to visit Rocky Mountain National Park throughout the year. Weekends, we know, continue to stay very busy through the fall, particularly if the weather cooperates. If we have a beautiful weekend weather on a fall weekend, it's fantastic as far as the number of people that come here. A lot of folks.
Now, that last week in September, was it the whole weekend or one day you had a free entrance to the park,
exactly.
Correct? How'd that go?
Yes, very busy. So the last number of years, Public Lands Day always is on that last Saturday in, I shouldn't say the last Saturday because sometimes, anyway, it's usually on September 24th or 25th. And that is a fee-free day to Rocky Mountain National Park. The last 3 years, including this year, it was the busiest day in the park. As far as yes.
Wow.
And so it's a combination of things. Fee-free day certainly has something to do with it, but really Sunday is back to normal as far as our reasonable fee to get into the park, as you and I have talked about before. We think that's really reasonable. And so we have a number of people that come on Sunday too. It's just a very busy weekend because you've got all of these things in place. The last 3 years, it's been incredible weather.
And this year was no exception.
Exactly.
It was phenomenal.
Then you have fall colors, and then you have the elk rut. And so many of our visitors that come that weekend are not necessarily our hiking visitors because we had Park and Ride and Bear Lake, didn't really consistently fill up on that weekend. So most of our visitors that are coming during that weekend are driving and maybe pulling off and pull-offs, but they really are looking at wildlife. They're looking at fall colors. They're not necessarily the same as our hiking crowd that comes to the park. And so even though it's a typical busy weekend day at Bear Lake and Park and Ride, it's not where you're just seeing all of those things filling up and the shuttle bus is bursting at the seams. It's not the same visitors that are coming to the park. So the fee-free day certainly helps, and there's no doubt that brings some people, but there's a number of people that are very surprised when they come through the entrance that it's a fee-free day. So that wasn't the main reason they were coming, but again, it certainly has helped. So the last 3 years, that was our busiest day in the park. And so it's over the weekend, we had over 20,000 vehicles that came into Rocky Mountain National Park on the 24th and 25th this year.
That's fantastic.
It is. So the secret's out, no doubt about it.
Secret's been out for over 10 years, I'm guessing.
It has. And people continue, a number of people thought, is really your peak season, June through August. No. We're seeing it go all the way, very busy through Columbus Day weekend, again, depending upon the weather. And then weekends through October can also be very busy again if the weather is great, because you start to get a point where the light is just gorgeous. You have cool days to be able to hike in, very cool nights. And again, wildlife viewing's great. The fall colors vary significantly depending upon what elevation you're at in the park. And so, of course, they're going to change at higher elevations. But this year, it was very late as far as just the color changing. And then, boom, all of a sudden, late September, here we are. Here's where the colors are changing. So we'll see how long it lingers for October for us.
Well, and then, of course, the better the weather, the longer Trail Ridge Road stays open.
Exactly.
I'd still like to make another trip to Grand Lake.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's usually it does close in October. Is that the most common time?
It really is. When you look back historically over the closures of Trail Ridge Road, that really call it for this season, it's usually mid-October is when it's closed. So what we do is we will plow it up until Columbus Day weekend, and then we let Mother Nature make the decision after that. And a lot of it has to do with the winds picking up high, and then also just the lack of warmer temperatures and sun. We really rely a lot on the sun to help us melt that road. And so if we're having drifting with the winds and we're not having a lot of warmth or sun, we get the sun, but we need the warmth too to warm up the ice and things, then that's when we'll make a decision that we close the road. And we certainly in some years haven't closed it until November. So we'll see. We'll see what October has in place for us as far as what we'll do there.
You never know. It's always a surprise.
Yeah, you never know. And Old Fall River Road, the same thing. We normally will close that just because as far as having both those roads open to sweep people and get people down safely, we'll usually make a decision for Old Fall River Road sooner than we will Trail Ridge Road because we won't plow Old Fall River Road.
It was a short season.
It was a short season for Old Fall River Road.
Depending on when it closes, of course. But,
exactly. Yeah, it was because, wow, what a spring. Not opening that road till the end of July and still seeing so much snow that hasn't melted, behind the Alpine Visitor Center and near places like Ptarmigan Glacier and places like that in the backcountry. It was an amazing year. We'll see what next spring holds for us as well.
Well, I was surprised. We went to Grand Lake the first week in August, and coming back down over that side, there was snow almost all the way to Grand Lake. Little patches.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a second, it's August.
Yes. So we deserve a very long Indian summer fall, don't we?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We'll see what kind of weather we have in October. We might be having big. It doesn't sound like we've got any big blizzards in our future.
Boy, they did a 30-day outlook a couple days ago I saw, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got the hotline number, which is 970-586-1222. And so anytime the status of Trail Ridge Road changes, we update that status line. So file that away and give that number a call on a beautiful day. You don't really need it, but on some of these days that are pretty suspect in the fall, make sure you know what the status of Trail Ridge Road is.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to visit with us today. Always a pleasure to see you.
Great to see you as well. Christy, thanks so much.
Talk to you in November.
Okay, talk to you in November.
Kyle Patterson, Public Information Officer for Rocky Mountain National Park. You're listening to EstasParkRadio.com. I'm Christy Wellborn.